Apple has started selling repair parts for people in the United States. Hey there, everybody. This is Tom with Tom's Tech Show, and I kind of note some tasks and tools that I use during the day, or things that I find out, projects, make videos about them, and share. And today I was seeing that I did switch from an Android device. This is a LG. This is a G7 or G8 or something. I don't know. One of those things. I use this for code generation for work now, to an iPhone 13, and knowing that fixing this, like if I had to replace the battery in this thing, that it's glued together, and you got to have like heat things to try and get it apart, and all this craziness. So obviously I have Apple Care, but now you can buy these different pieces and parts and things to service your Apple device at home by yourself. So what does this entail? So you have your device, say you need a new screen. Okay, so you go to the self-service parts store, and it's called selfservicerepair.com, and you select your product. So I'm going to say I've got an iPhone, and I'm going to say mine's a 13 Pro Max. And then you want your repair type. So we're going to say it's the display. So then that will bring up a bunch of information in the bottom about what you can buy to fix your phone. So the screen is going to cost you $315 with a $33 core charge that you can get back after you return the screen. Or you can just, if you don't want the full kit. So the full kit includes display, the screw kit, display adhesive, which is important, and security screws. So without that, you're just getting the screw kits and the screen with this one. So, you have to pick what you want. I mean, for the extra, couple of bucks, I'd get the whole package, right? You just get all of it to make sure you've got all the parts. Then down here towards the bottom, you go to the next section, is the tools section. So you would probably need this is the display protective cover. You're going to need an adhesive cutter. You're going to need maybe a back protective cover. And you're going to need maybe one of these outrageous price torque driver. I mean, $80, $90, $100 for these torque drivers. That's a little outrageous. Then you're going to need maybe a heated display pocket to heat the thing up. Then you're going to need a display press. And you might need a heated display removal fixture to allow you to pull that thing apart. Well, if you're just a person who's working on your phone one time, you're not going to spend, that's $246, that's $216, that's $100. These little Torx drivers are $100 for a Torx driver kind of thing. You're not going to do that. So Apple did make a option so that you can come up here and rent them. So there's a 7-day rental of the tools for $49. That seems extremely reasonable to try and fix your phone if you have no other option. If you didn't get Apple Care, or your phone gets heavily water damaged or something, and Apple's not going to fix it, so then you want to be able to repair your phone. This is pretty reasonable. Rent this for $49. It includes, tons of parts in the toolkit. Comes with the heater and the press and all these different the tools and a bunch of other stuff in there. So very, very good. I think it's a good option. And then your display right here for eventually $282, which is a very fair value for that. If I go to eBay, say I'm just going to buy the display and try and do this myself. Even on eBay, I buy one screen, it's almost $350. So that's more than Apple is selling it for. And this one, are you really, really sure that this is going to be certified by Apple? Because many times, right, the is the, Face ID going to still work? Is it going to lock some of the features out of the phone? That's what was happening with a lot of people trying to get their phones repaired, is that, when they used to have the, thumbprint Touch ID on the bottom in the little button, it used to be that, it would disable that button, and, thinking that someone had tampered with the device or whatever, it was being disabled, different things like that. So these, eBay, you don't know. I would think that if you're buying it from Apple and getting it, from them directly, that it's going to be a good certified part to be able to buy that. So I was also looking at, so if I go and I buy a phone, so I'm going to buy an iPhone 14 Pro, and I get the Max, of course. I prefer black. I don't care about colors. Get the smallest one. And then say, come down here for AppleCare. So if you pick the $199, or you can pay for this $990 a month until canceled. So that's going to be, I'm trying to weigh this out. So you do get AppleCare, or do you just go for it and not get AppleCare, and if something happens, then you buy the parts, right? So that's the whole thing about it, kind of an insurance kind of thing, right? Is which is going to be better. So if I spend $300 for this display, and then $50 for the rental, that's $350. So I basically have to be paying for AppleCare for almost 3 years to have it, be the same cost. So in that 3 years, how many times am I going to replace my display? A display is an expensive part of the phone. The battery is only, let's see, after return credit for the whole bundle, it's $52 for the battery. So that's not too bad. And after 2 years, you may actually have to do that, right? That may actually be something that you do on your phone, because, a couple of years is what you get from battery life. So that one wouldn't be too bad. You'd still need the $49 rental toolkit for 7 days to do it correctly. But so it's kind of a toss-up. If you're getting the full coverage, the threat and the theft and loss protection, then that that's be $13 a month. So it would balance back the other way. It would be like 2 years or so, two years, a couple of months before it became the same equal amount as replacing your full display. So it's just something you got to weigh those options. I like having facts. I like having, numbers and options, for what to do. I mean, I typically buy the AppleCare just because I don't want to deal with it. Like, that's the other part you have to figure in, right? Is am I going to take these parts? Am I going to do the labor? If something goes wrong, if I accidentally, slip and my hand slips and it jams a hole through, one of the system boards inside the phone, then what do I do? The only parts they have, there's the battery, bottom speaker, camera, display, SIM tray, Taptic engine, top speaker, and true depth camera. So you can't buy the the logic board inside. So that you'd have to send, that you still would have to send to Apple if something happened like that, right? If you accidentally punched a screwdriver through the main board inside there. So yeah, so you got to weigh all of these different things. I do like that, especially the battery. I mean, if you get a phone and you didn't buy AppleCare, and 8 months in, now your phone's bulging and you've got the battery failure, you need to be able to replace that easily. And if you can just for $100, if you can rent the parts to get the phone apart and replace the battery and use iFixit, right? They have all the teardown videos and steps to do that. Then that would be very good. I mean, that's something very, very doable if you opted for no AppleCare and being able to fix it yourself, right? So I think it's good on Apple to be able to make these products available. It would be nicer if they would make, I'm not saying take the phone, put a removable back so you can pop the battery in and out, but make it at least so, you can pop the whole back, heat the back up a little bit, get the back off and replace the battery. That's usually the biggest thing, especially for people who want to keep their phones for a long time. And not just blindly. I know Apple wants you to blindly continue to trade in your phone over and over again, but just being able to get in and repair your device. I mean, that's important. I mean, that's sustainability, right? You don't want to just these things. You don't want to just keep putting in landfills over and over again. You want to be able to have them last for a long, long time. Because I don't think there's any. I mean, this iPhone 13 Pro Max. I mean, what app am I going to run on here that's going to bog it down and slow it down, just like my M1 iPad? And it's an M1. I mean, it's blisteringly fast. I mean, it's crazy. That should last me for 10 years. There shouldn't be any app that's so bogged down that I can't run it for like the next 10 years or so. So why not let the battery work for the 10 years? So, all right, what do you think? Is this good on Apple? I mean, are you gonna, which option would you choose? Are you going to buy AppleCare, or are you going to go for it and just say, if something happens, I'll buy the parts and rent the toolkit and replace it? Right? Which way would you go? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching.